Hey YouTube, Jim here. Welcome to Top 10 Archive. Around the world, our governments exercise a certain level of control over us. We need certificates to get married, practice law, and even breed dogs. But in many places, you can have a baby and choose its name without any government involvement whatsoever. In some countries, however, officials are realizing that they sometimes need to intervene when parents go a little left field with their baby naming choices. So today we've compiled a list of our picks of the top 10 illegal baby names around the world. Before we tickle your funny bone, help us out by subscribing to the channel and clicking the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads. If you wound up enjoying this video, remember to throw us a like and comment with some names you'd choose for your baby.
Number 10. Sexual intercourse. The only thing we can think of is some parents were confused between what to call the baby and how the baby was created. Alas, we're giving them too much credit. Malaysian authorities published a list of banned baby names which included Woti, which translates to sexual intercourse. The list was in response to the growing number of Malaysians that are applying to change their birth names. Other crazy names that have been banned include Chow Cow, which literally means smelly dog, and Zanaya, which means female adulterer. Charming. Number 9. Metallica. Sweden is known for its love of rock music, so it's no real surprise that one family attempted to name their baby Metallica. The courts ruled against the heavy metal name in 2007, but the parents fought them, and eventually they were granted the right to use the rockin' name. Surprisingly, that's not even the weirdest name to come out of Sweden. This is. Not even going to try to pronounce that one. Well, it's not as tough as you might think. Apparently, it sounds a lot like Albin. Number 8. Satan. I shouldn't even need to explain why this baby name is a terrible idea. Religious or not, do you think other parents want their children playing with little Satan? Probably not. Sadly, though, the Australian government felt the need to officially ban the name as presumably they didn't trust their citizens to use their own common sense. They may have a good reason for their concerns, though. Spinach has been requested as a baby name 3 separate times. Number 7. Nutella. Nutella is great on toast, or in crepes, or as an ingredient in a brownie. What it's not great for is the name of a baby girl. One couple in France were banned from calling their bundle of joy Nutella back in 2015 because it was decided that it would make her a target of ridicule. They reasoned that their baby was as sweet as the Moorish hazelnut spread, but a judge decided that the name was ridiculous and therefore not allowed. Instead, the couple was told to call their child Ella, which I think was a good decision by the courts. Number 6. Robocop. No matter how much you enjoy fictional robotic police officers, I think it's fair to say that most of us know not to call our babies Robocop. Unfortunately, at least one family in Mexico didn't seem to agree with this logic, which led to one local government having to ban the name to prevent it from being used again. Robocop isn't the only wacky name outlawed south of the border either, as circumcision, Facebook, and Harry Potter are just 3 more of the bonkers names that officials have vetoed. Number 5. Judge. Of course, the good old US of A would make an appearance on our list, although it's kind of for the opposite reason. In America, you can pretty much call your child whatever you want, thanks to the free speech clause in the First Amendment. There are a few banned names, however, including Judge, King, and Majesty. But other than that, you can go wild with baby naming. Miracle, Messiah, and Sincere are all okay, as are Dulce, America, and Heaven. ISIS is even fine, should you come to the conclusion that you want your baby to be associated with a terrorist group. Number 4. Duncan. Back in 2014, a couple in Iceland launched an appeal against their government after they refused to renew their 10-year-old's passport because her name was illegible. What was her wacky name, you may ask? Harriet. Yep, really. Their son, Duncan, had suffered similar issues with his equally wild name, and both children had been traveling on passports simply named Girl and Boy. This is because neither name is recognized by the country's strict National Register of Approved Names. Parents must choose from 1,853 female names and 1,712 male names, and any name not on the list must be submitted for approval. The reason for this is that the government's trying to preserve the Icelandic language, so names are only allowed if they are, quote, written in accordance with the ordinary rules of Icelandic orthography. Well, okay then. Number 3. Linda. Another seemingly inoffensive name has been banned, this time in Saudi Arabia. The strict country banned 50 names back in 2016 on the basis that these names contradict the culture or religion of the kingdom. Other banned names include Sarah, Lauren, and Alice. The Arabic version of Benjamin is also banned, partly because it's the name of an Israeli prime minister. Names that have royal connotations are also banned, including Samu, which means highness, Malik, which means king, and Malika, which means queen. There are also several names on the list that don't seem to have a reason for their banning, including Rital, Bayan, and Randa. Number 2. Osama Bin Laden. Less than a year after the atrocities of 9/11, a Turkish couple thought it would be a great idea to name their newborn Osama Bin Laden. They were living in Germany at the time, and the father was found to have ties with a radical Turkish group which was led by an imam who had served time in prison for soliciting murder. It's unclear whether the naming of their precious bundle of joy is linked to the family's love of radicalism, but we're willing to bet it is. It's also required by law that a name must indicate the gender of the child and must not lead to humiliation. Number 1. Mafia No Fear. New Zealand may well be the land of banned names. They have an incredible list. Mafia No Fear is an actual name that a parent has tried to name their poor child. Who knows why they chose this name? Maybe as a sign to rival gangs that they're not scared. Maybe as a not-so-subtle hint that their family is, in fact, the Mafia. Whatever the reason, I'm glad the government stopped them from going ahead. Other incredible band names include Anal and For Real, and the name that's been turned down most since 2001, Justice. It's been nixed 62 times. Sadly, some crazy names do get through. A child was actually called Number 6 Bus Shelter, and a set of twins were called Benson and Hedges, after the well-known cigarette brand. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments section below some other unusual names you've heard about given to children you think should be banned. Hey, maybe we can get someone to name their kids subscribe to the channel, or click the bell, or thumbs up the video, or Top 10 Archive, or, if they're twins, Fact and Fiction. Just saying.